Welcome to our YouTube video series on corporate business law. My name is Christopher Neufeld of Neufeld Legal, and in this particular video, we'll be talking about the transformation of a sole proprietorship to a corporation. Now, where a sole proprietorship has been the initial business structure, and it's deemed the appropriate time to move forward, whether by necessity or by the realization that the corporate structure is a preferable structure, because one is seeing that the limitations associated with a sole proprietorship are imposing a reduction or challenges to the growth or potential problems down the road. We then need to look at transforming that business to a corporation. However, it is not as simple as simply registering a company, because if you proceed with simply registering a company and not take the other necessary steps to advance the business interests into the company, you could be in for a major shock in the way of being taxed on the transposition of the assets of the sole proprietorship into the corporation. Because once you transfer assets and value from one entity to another, because these are two separate legal persons at law, Revenue Canada can and has the power to assess tax on this transference. Fortunately, there is a mechanism through which you are able to facilitate the transference and defer the taxable event, and that is through a Section 85 rollover. Now, Section 85 is the term that is derived from the section in the Income Tax Act that allows for the transference of the assets and the value of the sole proprietorship's business into the corporation, and in return, the corporation returns shares representing the current value of that asset transference. And by doing so and following the appropriate procedures, filing the appropriate paperwork with Revenue Canada, and normally utilizing knowledgeable professionals, including the knowledgeable lawyers as to these undertakings, you are able to avoid immediate incidents of tax on the transference and instead get the permissible deferral of the taxable event to the time that the corporation is transferring out those assets to an arm's length party. And the rationale behind this is tied in very clearly in that the sole proprietorship and this corporation are effectively of the same economic interest. Nevertheless, because they are two separate legal entities, they can trigger a taxable event. And to avoid that, we need to utilize the tax mechanisms that are at our disposal through the Income Tax Act and facilitate a rollover, a Section 85 rollover from the sole proprietorship to the corporation that enables the corporation then to proceed without having picked up the tax and having necessitated to pay the tax at that point in time. And this is the process by which you need to be undertaking a transformation from a sole proprietorship to a corporation. So when you're at the stage of transforming your sole proprietorship into a corporation, seriously consider the law firm of Neufeld Legal, because not only are you going to have to incorporate a company effectuate a Section 85 rollover properly. But there is going to be a wealth of other actions that you need to undertake to best position your business now as a corporation to move forward, both on the corporate front and with other legal and contractual aspects that will only serve to advance and strengthen the financial position of your business as it moves forward in a corporate form. Thank you.